Utah State basketball game is final, and now it's your chance to text and call about it with Al Lewis and John Russell as KVNU Aggie Game Day continues with Aggie Call. The numbers are 753-5868 for calls, and the text line is 435-339-0321. Aggie Call, part of KVNU Aggie Game Day for USU Hoops, is sponsored by Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, LSS Insurance, Young Truck and Trailer, DD Auto and Salvage, My Mattress, Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, Elements Restaurant, White Pine Funeral Home, Les Olson Company, Prodigy Brewing, Cache Valley Bank, Jarek's Fine Jewelry, Darrow's Appliance, HSA Depot, Advanced Fireplace and Stove, Alpine Home Medical, S.E. Needham Jewelers, Thermo Fisher, Primrose Home Care, and Golden Spike Electric. It's KVNU Aggie Call with Al Lewis and John Russell.
The Aggies never trailed and beat New Mexico tonight 91-76. And Utah State moves on to play Boise State in the semifinals of the Mountain West Tournament with their 25th victory of the season, their 6th win in a row. Taylor Funk, unbelievable to start the game, getting the Aggies off to the fantastic start. He scored the first 16. He ended up well over 30 points in this game, and he had a dunk late, and I don't have the numbers right in front of me right now, so he had a heck of a game. But again, others with foul trouble and everything else, John Russell, that was a tremendous victory by the Aggies tonight.
Great win for the Aggies. 32 on the night for Taylor Funk.
Okay.
Boy, did we need him from the get-go. He came out and was just on fire early. But you've got to go back to exactly what you said. Everybody stepping up tonight. We saw little things from guys at certain points. Stephen Ashworth, again, the leader of the team. But great game for Shulga, for
Shulga
Akin.
in the second half made some big plays when we needed him. Bairstow even came through with a couple. Akin was really good tonight in the game off the bench. I mean, it was a terrific job.
And you look at Z and Idle Rock both played well defensively. And no, great win and a great way to finish the first night for the Aggies at the Mountain West Conference.
Jalen Moore joins with us, the Aggie great. Jalen, that was a heck of a win tonight by Utah State against a good basketball team in New Mexico.
Yeah, it was a good win. A win that we needed to, obviously. Taylor came out. He started from the get-go really hot. And the best thing about it, our team ends up with 4 double-digit scores. Shulga took over when he needed to. When Ashworth got in some foul trouble, I thought that showed some great guard play by him, Bairstow, and Hamoda, and guys like that being able to handle that pressure when Ashworth went out with the foul trouble. And like you guys said, I thought we did a great job defensively the whole game. So I thought we did everything we needed to do this game to win it. And like we said, you get another matchup against Boise State, and you win tonight. I think it kind of solidifies that we should be a tournament team, especially the way we looked. But you go out and you have a good game against Boise State and beat them. Now you're really going to be solidifying yourself and can maybe actually get out of that play-in game.
Jalen, my thought was, remember we saw Will Baker of Nevada score the first 22 or whatever it was against us. Funk witnessed that, but Funk got the first 16, but he just kept scoring the rest of the night. I mean, it was an unbelievable offensive game for Taylor Funk.
Yeah, it really was. He was making hard shots, especially some of those threes. He's obviously contested. They were deep. Just playing with the ultimate confidence. And last time they interviewed him after the game, they touched base on that and the confidence that the players play with, and you can see it out there with Utah State. Very confident team, and especially when we start going like that offensively, definitely going to build our confidence, and we look almost unstoppable if other teams can't guard us. And you're scoring 90 points a game, especially at this point in the season. You're playing pretty great ball, and our defense was good too.
Well, hey, let's jump on that because great point. New Mexico led by their 2 guards, Mashburn and House. Aggies did a great job on them combined. I think they were 14 for 39. What did you see defensively against those 2 very, very good scorers?
Yeah, I just think we frustrated them a lot. House, I think, was frustrated, was in some foul trouble, and we know how good an elite Mashburn is when he gets to the mid-range, and we did a good job of kind of getting him off of his spot. But when he would get to his spot, he would have to elevate over contested hands. We kind of put Idle Rock on him, who's bigger than him, try to beat him up, kind of make him uncomfortable a little bit. And you could showcase that they did that. A lot of his shots were missing short. I think he started to get fatigued a little bit. And then obviously, they're losing the game. and he had to start forcing, and that's what you want those two guys to start doing, and that's what they did. And I think we just did a good job of making their shots hard for them to get them off.
You know, one of the things that I think is going to be overlooked, great game plan and great coaching tonight by the staff.
To manage foul trouble and things like that. That's tough.
And I think that's specifically
because we haven't had to really face that a lot this year.
And maybe one player, but tonight you had 4 guys with 4 fouls. Just thoughts on what the coaching staff did to alleviate pressure with all that foul trouble.
Yeah, I thought they just, made smart substitutions. Like I said, they were able to give Steven a break and show confidence in other guys that could handle the ball. But, Dan, he's going to be aggressive. Ashworth's going to be aggressive. Same with Barstow. Those guys like that, they picked up some fouls early. They have to give the players some credit, too. They went out there. They were smart. They didn't foul. And the coaches made the correct substitutions, the correct rotations. And it worked because we never really got out of our groove as a team offensively or defensively. So I thought the rotations were on point. And, you get a win. And like I said, you get another chance against Boise State, which is another big game.
Now, a lot of it was necessary, but, we've grown accustomed, have several guys that'll bring the ball up. Ashworth, Shulga, great game. Barstow, we'll see Atkin bring the ball up, Funk bring the ball up. But we saw Z with the ball a lot. And Z kind of, I don't know if he was in the doghouse, but he wasn't seeing a lot of minutes earlier in this year. Pretty nice that he was on the court with important minutes to play.
Yeah, it is. And obviously, if you can get guys like that from your bench to alleviate some of that pressure off of those starters and they handle the ball, but also like what Atkin brings you is the energy, the rebounding. And I got to say, Idarock has looked really good in the minutes he's been getting the last few games. His defense has gotten way better. He's making correct plays, made a couple nice passes. We keep getting that production, that confidence from the guys off the bench too. That'll make it so much easier for our team and our starters as well. That we know that we have some bench production and we can rely on the bench as well.
So, Jalen, let's check your keys to the game, and then, of course, you're going to start to get ready for tomorrow night because we're going to start late again tomorrow night. It's scheduled to start 10 o'clock our time tomorrow night on CBS Sports Network, so we're planning on 9 o'clock for pregame tomorrow night for our game day. White Pine Funeral Services brings you, again, your keys from the game and a review of those. They're the primary provider of funeral and cremation services here in the Valley, whitepinefunerals.com. Match their energy and intensity. I thought we did that right from the start. We did not let them ever really feel like the start of the second half, you could tell they tried to change things, and immediately we kind of took that right back. We were the aggressors tonight.
Yeah, we were, and we were from the get-go. I think we led the whole game. Like we said, we did a good job. We frustrated them. We came out with energy. We came out with confidence. And we did it on both ends of the court, so I think that's the positive part about it.
The big three for them, they scored 50. Our big three scored 71 tonight, if you add Atkin in with Funk and Ashworth. How about that in the performance against those guys where you said we had to do a job?
Yeah, big time. Big time defensively, too. Obviously on their side, they scored. House had 14, Mashburn had 20. Obviously, if he has to score 20 on 25 shots and House scoring 14 on 14 shots, you're doing a really good job defensively. That means that they're forcing. You're making them miss shots. I thought our defense on those two guys was awesome. And then on the flip side, I thought our offense through Atkin, I think we hit him on the roll a couple times. Our patience offensively was good. And then obviously Ashworth and Funk stepped up and hit some pretty hard shots, but showed the confidence that they're capable of playing with. And
we did out-rebound them in the game.
Yep, which we knew was going to be a big key, the way that they rebound. And, we matched that or beat them on the boards. I knew we had a pretty good chance. Second chance points were 9-6 for Utah State in the game. So there you have it. So, Jalen, rematch with Boise State from last Saturday on a neutral floor. They survive after being up by 22 in that game. They won it in overtime. Just a quick thought, and then we'll let you get to it. But what do you think of this matchup tomorrow night? Yeah, I love it. Two teams that are supposed to be tournament teams. I think it's going to be a great game. Obviously, it's 1-1. They're going to want to get one back that they just lost, 2 games ago. Good for us. They win in overtime. Hopefully, they're a little bit fatigued. We had a little bit of a lead. But anything can happen in March, and it makes for fun games. And I expect nothing different from that game tomorrow. I think it'll be a war, a big battle tomorrow night. Jalen, we'll talk to you tomorrow night, okay? Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Jalen Moore. Aggies post-game again with Jalen, and we're waiting for the players from the Aggies to get to the announce stands in Las Vegas. We'll have your texts as well at 435-339-0321, and the phone number is available at 753-5868, 753-KVNU. But remember, we've got probably the post-game press conference coming up here shortly.
Don't get caught without power to your home or business. This is Tyler with Golden Spike Electric. We offer Generac backup generators to keep your home or business warm, avoiding frozen pipes, loss of valuable food, or even a flooded basement. Golden Spike Electric is certified and factory trained, so you know it will be installed right and properly maintained. Contact Golden Spike Electric so you'll never be without power again. Online at gsegenerators.com. We also service other brands, Golden Spike Electric and Generac. Power you can count on.
Prodigy Brewing invites you to enjoy the luck of the Irish all through March with a menu as tasty as a pot of gold. Enjoy Prodigy's new lunch options, including personal-sized pizzas, juicy burgers, chicken sliders, and delicious salads, along with bar menu favorites like wings and beer cheese nachos that'll leave you feeling lucky as a four-leaf clover. Experience Prodigy Brewing, family-friendly dining with an edge. Make sure to follow them on Instagram for special beer releases, St. Paddy's Day weekend specials, live music, and more. Prodigy Brewing on Center Street in downtown Logan.
Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat is locally owned and operated inside the beautiful new Three Peaks Medical Plaza in North Logan. Expect the most cutting-edge techniques, qualified doctors, and friendly staff to ensure the highest quality patient care. The ENT providers have extensive training to properly treat ear, nose, and throat conditions for adults and children. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat serves all of northern Utah and southern Idaho, accepting most insurance products including SelectMed. Go to CacheValleyENT.com for appointments and details. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, located in North Logan and Providence.
Hi, this is James Stevens with White Pine Funeral Services. At White Pine, we value compassion, integrity, and service. We are committed to serving you and treating your family as our family. We will be here when you need us most, to listen, to help, and to provide exactly what your circumstances require. At White Pine, we promise to dedicate our time and attention to you and your family. We invite you to come by and meet us. We're confident you'll feel a difference.
It's KVNU Aggie Game Day, brought to you by Elements Restaurant on News Talk KVNU.
They're getting close in Las Vegas to having Coach Odom. It looks like Dan Akin and Taylor Funk will be the ones that will represent Utah State after this win. Again, the Aggies never trailed in this basketball game. They led 2-0. They led 5-0. Then it was 5-2. Then it was 13-2 after the only real big long run of the night for the Aggies with the 8-0 run. Actually, New Mexico didn't score a field goal the last 5 minutes of the first half as the Aggies led at the half by 44-33. And then you could tell right at the bat. But I'll tell you what was a key play early is all of a sudden House hits that jumper. They pick up their intensity, and Trevin Dorius goes over and steals the ball and gets that fast break down to Shulga for a dunk. And then all of a sudden, just after that, they get a couple free throws. But then Funk with a deep three, Funk with some free throws, Ashworth with a three-pointer, and Utah State builds it back to 10 when it looks like it's going to get close. And they did get it inside double digits one other time in the second half, but Utah State led by as many as 18 and win the game 91-76.
Well, I like your comment 13-2. Really, that was Taylor Funk 13.
Yes, it was, all 13.
And New Mexico, too. I two big factors in my mind coming into the game, and we've seen this all year. How are the Aggies going to respond at the end of the first half? We've seen it game after game where they've either given up a bucket or, gone to let the other team go on a little 5-0,
they led New Mexico by 19
yeah.
here, and remember, they did come back a little bit in the second half, made it a little bit uncomfortable, but the Aggies won the game eventually.
Right.
Here.
But they handled the end of the first half well, and handled the beginning of the second half really well. Didn't let New Mexico get on that big run, and as we were talking about with Jalen, a lot of it was defense.
All right, it looks like the players are sitting down. Here comes Coach Odom, so we'll get started.
Coach Ryan Odom, we have student-athletes Taylor Funk and Dan Akin. We'll go ahead and have an opening remark from Coach, and then we'll follow with questions for the student-athletes. Coach?
Yeah, just really proud of our guys. It was a big-time, college basketball game. I mean, all the games have been great. Certainly the one before us, obviously going to overtime. It's a great conference, all around. I think what everyone that's been watching on television or has been lucky enough to be here, to witness is that, some really excellent players, individual players in our league, but more importantly, really good teams. And, I can't say enough about all the coaches in our league and what they do for their programs. And, obviously everybody works hard and is trying to win at a high level. And, I think in this particular game for us, we knew it was going to be a battle. No secret, Taylor got off to a blazing hot start, for us, which, there are a lot of nerves in these games. And, when you're in the situation that a lot of us are in, right now, making a push and trying to, make the dance, there's a lot of pressure. And so we tried to remove that from our guys as much as we could, over the last couple of weeks. And just to focus on, the task at hand. And tomorrow will be no different. It's not about, the NCAA tournament. It's about doing our best every single day. And, Taylor and his teammates did a great job today in this particular game of focusing on the task at hand, trying to defend at a high level. And, certainly on certain possessions we came up short, but for the most part, our guys, did a really nice job. Both teams got in foul trouble, and so, we both were having to figure out, when to play guys, when to put them back in. Not easy stuff there, but can't say enough about our team and that group of guys that we have in the locker room.
All right, we'll take questions for the student athletes. Right here in the second row.
Sean Harrison with the Herald Journal. Taylor, can you just kind of go through that start? You missed the first shot, but then I think 6 in a row you made. Just talk about what you were feeling.
I think something with this team is, open man's best man, and we really pride ourselves on the ball movement. Credit to all the other 4 guys on the court. They set screens and pass me the ball at the right time, and then it's just your responsibility to knock the shot down. Yeah, credit to this guy. He set a lot of screens, and we do a lot of the give action, and yeah, Alec was going under a couple of those screens, and yeah, just kind of, it's a feel thing, and yeah, I'm definitely feeling it a little bit in the start.
Front row.
So it's either for Dan or Taylor. I mean, you guys have seen the rest of the games in this tournament. Nothing's come easy for really anyone, but you guys kind of did enough to where you guys were able to kind of cruise in the last couple of minutes, make it a little easier on yourselves. Just tell us about, doing enough to make it a little easier for you today.
That didn't feel easy, did it?
No, it wasn't easy.
Yeah, it didn't feel easy.
No, it's nothing's easy out here, especially in this conference. It's a really good conference. It's a battle, I'm not sure the rebounding's stats here, but they're a big team, big aggressive team, and they make us work on every single possession, and we really talk about every possession matters, offense and defense. And I think our guys really took that to heart and really took advantage of our opportunity today.
We're in the second row.
Jacob Nielsen, KSL.com. Dan, when Bairstow and Ashworth, they're both on the bench with 4 fouls and they cut it to single digits, the crowd's kind of getting into it. What was the mindset? How were you guys able to weather that storm there late?
Obviously, we knew they were eventually going to make a run, so we just tried to stay focused and just get good shots. And we obviously, with them 2 being out, we have a good bench. Obviously, myself, Aggie, and Z, obviously been in that role the whole season, so we kind of knew what to do.
Daniel Olson with the Hive Sports. First of all, Dan, congrats on the 6th Man of the Year.
Thank you.
Just from, I guess this question's for both of you. After the Mountain West Conference Awards, like for you, Taylor or Dan, was there any extra motivation from maybe any awards you felt like you should have gotten?
I think Taylor did, obviously, from the performance you saw today. He should have been an all-conference player, so I guess he obviously showed everyone that he's that guy.
He's looking out for his teammate.
I actually said that. Me and Sean were talking, and, our starting 5, obviously Steven got that, and he deserves it, earned, not given. I think any of us could have gotten it. There's not really one guy that really stands out on this team where it's, that's the guy you got to guard. No, you got to guard all of us. And I think really anyone could have been first, second, or third team. And, we didn't get it, but that's fine. We talked about our goals in the summer. You know, the first week we all get together. Obviously, me and Dan, newcomers, and you know, we made our goals, and we're not going to stop until we reach those. So, you know, they're cool. There's cool rewards for sure, but we didn't get them. But it's not going to stop us.
Back here in the middle, in the third row.
Jake Ellis, the Utah Statesman. For both of you, just the whistle kind of tightened up there in the second half, and there were some things that were kind of changing the pace of the game there, but when you needed to, you always had an answer, it seemed like. How were you able to kind of channel any maybe frustration you might have felt there to the offensive end?
Yeah, coach kind of got on us because we had the lead for sure, and we didn't want that clock to stop, but we just kept fouling. So we definitely need to learn from that, you know, guard without fouling and just keep that clock ticking. But I think on the offensive end, when, you know, we weren't really organized as much as we should have been, and we just kind of found a way to draw those fouls. So, you know, we're kind of fouling on one end, but we were also getting fouled on the other when stuff wasn't really going our way. One of the plays that stands out is we were just kind of stuck. They were locking us up, and ball just kind of found Dan and took his time in there, got to the free throw line, and it was a really, really big play for us, kind of switched the momentum because their crowd got into it, and, you know, that kind of quieted it down a little bit.
And I think you have to give New Mexico credit. They were pressuring us, and they were getting into the ball, and it's not easy, especially, you know, when, you know, fatigue becomes a factor and all of that. So we're not going to play perfectly, you know, but I thought our guys did a really nice job, you know, down the stretch, you know, especially in a highly intense game, you know, for some of our guys off the bench, RJ and Z in particular, to perform like they did, you know, was really impressive.
Back left.
Just curious, you guys' thoughts on playing Boise State tomorrow. You just obviously beat them a few days ago, but you guys split the regular season with them. Obviously, a lot more on the line tomorrow. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, obviously, we know it's going to be a battle, so I think we're well prepared. Obviously, we just played them a few days ago, so we know the game plan. Obviously, we can tweak it a little bit. But, yeah, I think we're ready for them, and they're ready for us, so obviously it should be a good game.
Any additional questions for the student athletes? All right, gentlemen, thank you. We can dismiss the student athletes, and we'll continue with Coach.
All right, guys.
All right, go ahead, front row here.
Good job, buddy.
So I'll try and word my earlier question a little better. I know you guys, obviously wasn't an easy game, but you guys, you know, despite the pushes they made, you kept them at arm's length for most of the game, and especially at the end. Like, what was the keys for you guys to keep this game from getting tight, you know, down the stretch?
I mean, obviously scoring, right? I mean, we ended up with 91. You got to score. You know, they were making a run. You know, Mashburn's getting to the basket pretty easy. He's making some good plays, dropping it off to Alec and to Udeze. They made some key threes. You know, Johnson makes that three in front of their bench on the opposite side. You know, which was an important one for them, but. You know, we fouled too much. You know, we fouled too much, and, you know, certainly it was a disjointed game from a substitution standpoint. You know, as coaches, we all want it to be perfect, you know, from a foul perspective. You don't want to have to make decisions like that. And both of us were in the same position in terms of trying to figure out, you know, how much do we play these guys. And it's not the ref's fault. It's our fault for not, you know, playing the right way. And, you know, it's a physical game, and when guys are driving it at you like they were, extremely hard, you know, you run the risk of having some fouls. And Steven got he got a couple, you know, that were just, you know, just that you don't see all the time, right? You know, and House does a good job of denying him, and then all of a sudden their arms get tangled up, and it clearly was a foul on Steven. But it's just, you know, you don't see those all the time. And, you know, the key for us offensively was just trying to hang in there, trying to run stuff to give our guys space to be able to work, to be able to get around, you know, the defense, and then make the right plays. And Max, you know, Max's ability to make several of those baskets for us was huge. I mean, that to be honest with you, was probably the key, you know, for us to be able to maintain, you know, a margin where, you know, it wasn't too close. You know, his threes were huge.
Back left.
Coach Joe O'Neill, ESPN Albuquerque. Obviously, a lot of attention are to MASH and the house,
Yeah.
but Udeze had a great season as well.
Yeah, great season.
Only 7 shot attempts tonight. Was there a specific way that you...
With house?
Udeze only had 7 shot attempts, which is low for him, and he'd been a key factor. Was there anything specific... or just a credit to the fundamental defense?
No, I mean, I think the game tells you, whose turn it is to shoot, at times. And certainly Trevin's a big body, The kid that we have, our starting center, he's a big body. And he's tough to score on in there. And, Dan's, not big, but he's quick and athletic. And so, the goal was to try to limit the catches as much as we possibly could, knowing that we weren't going to be able to do that, for 40 minutes. He's going to catch the ball, and they do a good job of moving him around and getting him in positions to where he can catch it and have an angle to the basket to be able to score. And so, we didn't really get to the doubles because they were trying to get him more in the middle of the lane, which is really tough to deal with. But you're right. He's a great player and certainly has delivered for them, all season long.
Coach, a week ago in this building, Taylor Funk only took 3 shots. And
Yeah.
you said after the game, right, you're like, he's fulfilling his role. You weren't worried at all about him.
Yeah.
How great is it for the biggest game to this point in your season, he steps up and plays like he did?
Yeah, I mean, he's had several good games in a row, recently, and obviously shooters are going to have stretches where they don't shoot it like they want to, and he certainly had his, a little bit earlier, and he was able to break out of it, and that doesn't mean it's going to continue, because things can change, can always change, but he faces a ton of pressure, right? I'm talking about from the other team. At all times, they get up underneath them. They're trying to be physical with them, and that's not an easy thing to do. And I think our other guys, like he mentioned, do a really good job, of trying to free him up as best they can. And then when all of a sudden a scramble happens, now he's able to get free and get a clean look off. And once 1 or 2 go down for him, it's like most shooters. He thinks all of them are going in. And that's what you love. You love guys that are confident in their abilities because it's not always going to be perfect for you, and you have to answer. And he's answered, in a big way, down the stretch for us. We wouldn't be where we are if he wasn't playing like he's playing.
We'll take 2 more questions right here, and then the second one in the back.
Coach, we've seen a lot of great Aggie performances, specifically the championship run in 2020 that started with New Mexico, and Sam Merrill really carried them, and I know it was mentioned before, the strength of your team is the team, but how important would you say it is to have kind of those Merrill moments where someone like Taylor Funk in the first half, I know we already talked about that, but like how important is it to have somebody that can kind of take over and give you
it's what March Madness is all about, right? The big plays, the UNLV, with the 3 in the corner, and that's what it's all about. And you've seen it. You've seen it in the men's game. You've seen it in the women's game in the last 2 weeks. It's just a special time of year, and we're all blessed to be able to be a part of it. You guys doing your jobs, us doing ours, but most importantly, the players, student athletes, having an opportunity to go for it and compete for it. And you're always gonna. That's why that first weekend's so special. Because the upsets obviously happen. The last second shots happen, and it's what those that follow hoops, it's what it's all about.
Final question in the back.
Coach, do you feel like you're in the NCAA tournament right now, or do you have to win tomorrow?
Yeah, we have no idea, I think we'll wait till Sunday to figure that out, but right now we're just immersed in what we're doing here, and that's what we came to do, was just be immersed in the Mountain West tournament, do our best regardless of the result, and then we'll see where we are at on Sunday. And tomorrow obviously is a big game, for both teams. And we just played a week ago. They cracked us at their home, and we were fortunate enough to win at ours. And we know it'll be a good hard fought Mountain West battle. Like you've seen so far in a lot of these games.
All right, great. Thank you.
All right,
Coach.
thanks.
That's Coach Ryan Odom and Primrose Home Care and Hospice, one of our sponsors, and we'll get to your texts. We've also got New Mexico coming in just a moment or two, and we will return with more of Game Day. Aggies win 91-76. When it comes to home care, it's important to know you have a choice. If you or a loved one is in need of hospice or home health services, remember that Primrose Home Care and Hospice believes in treating the patient as well as the problem. We're going to go right now. Coach Pitino has just sat down, so we'll get back to Primrose Home Care and Hospice in a moment. Here is Coach Pitino, his opening remarks. We just want to hear that for sure.
Go ahead, Coach.
Well, credit to Utah State. They're a terrific team. I kind of overheard the last part. I would be blown away if they're not in the NCAA tournament at 25-7. I haven't really studied their metrics and all that, but that is one of the best offensive teams that we have played. We cut it to 6, couldn't, they went on a run. We cut it to 9, they went on a run. So we just couldn't sustain the defense and then get the baskets that we needed to. We had some turnover issues. But the bottom line, like I told our team, is we have so much to be proud of, to be excited about with what we did this year and what we're going to continue to do and beyond. So very, very proud of them. Disappointing way to end, but I'm pretty sure we're going to keep playing here. We'll find out Sunday night, and we'll be, if we do make the NIT, we haven't been in the postseason since 2014. We'll be proud of that as well. So with that.
Take questions for the student athletes right here in the middle.
For either one of you guys earlier in the year were kind of comfortable with the offense, and if you guys got into shootouts with teams, you guys felt comfortable with that. You guys went up against another really good offensive team. What needs to change so the defense can get some stops in the second halves over the last?
I think I'm going to pull out of that because, they're going to ask the players specific things about New Mexico, and so we will get to that commercial break, and then we'll get to your texts. So come on, 435-339-0321. Again, we heard from Coach Pitino, and I think he basically told his situation from the New Mexico side, and we'll return with more of Game Day after this.
Girls, insist he take you to Jarek's. Picking out your wedding ring is an experience you will never forget. Come to a place where the mood is right and the setting is perfect for romance. Jarek's Fine Jewelry in Logan. The perfect collection of memorable designs, classic creation, and modern marvels. If you want an intimate, romantic experience you will never forget, then insist he takes you to Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarek's at 930 North Main in Logan.
Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarek's.
This is Ryan at My Mattress. Life is good. Life at My Mattress is good too. Why might I say that? Because today is a good day to slay a Goliath. The other day I went into a mattress store here in Logan that has 2,500 stores across the country. I'd say that's a Goliath. We were 20% less expensive on every bed that we both offer. We may not have 2,500 stores, but we are #1 in Cache Valley. Better product and better prices. Isn't it time to sleep exceptionally? Only at My Mattress.
When it comes to home care, it's important to know you have a choice. If you or a loved one is in need of hospice or home health services, remember that Primrose Home Care and Hospice believes in treating the patient as well as the problem. We work directly with you and your doctor to create a health plan that's catered to your needs. Our team is devoted to providing options in the freedom and safety of your own home. Visit us at primrosecare.com or call to schedule a free consultation. Primrose Home Care and Hospice, your local hospice and home health provider since 2006.
Elements Restaurant has something new and exciting to share. If you like barbecue, you're going to love Thursday's Brews and Barbecue at Elements. Mouth-watering smoked brisket, perfectly seasoned and slow-cooked for hours. Your taste buds will say thank you. Try the brisket sandwich served with coleslaw or brisket plate complete with Southwest mac and cheese and coleslaw. Don't miss Brews and Barbecue for lunch or for dinner with live in-house music every Thursday at Elements Restaurant next to Spring Hill Suites on the south end of Logan, or call 750-5171 for reservations.
The Aggies are always #1 here. It's KVNU Game Day with Al Lewis and John Russell.
And you, because again, we make this your show, you can interact with us with your texts, 435-339-0321, or you can use the phone line now if we've heard from players, and we've heard from Coach Odom and also from Coach Patino at New Mexico. Utah State 91-76 over the Lobos. That's the widest margin. I think that's kind of the point that Jason Walker of Full Court Press is trying to make, that this was, again, the widest margin of a game in the tournament. But I don't think anybody who went through it when you got to that last 2 or 3 or 4 minutes and you've got foul trouble like it is, and New Mexico started to come a little bit, that you're thinking that that was much secure.
Well, they really put a solid defensive clamp on there in the second half, and especially as well as the Aggies did defensively on Howson and Ashburn. Those are two guys that all of a sudden could get very hot, hit 3 or 4 shots right in a row and get that game close. So I
tell
think
you, Alec for them was really good offensively that helped them in this game. And again, it was Akin off the RJ pass when they were on their 10-0 run that he found him, and that was with about 4:45 to go. That was a big play. And then the Aggies followed that up with free throws from Shulga, 1 layup at the other end, and then the 4th foul on House. Shulga makes some more free throws. Then we come in after, and gosh, Ashworth gets that wide open 3, probably the most open 3 he had on the night. Missed that one. And then Dan picks up his 4th foul, but we come right back, and Bairstow made the huge drive, even though he missed the free throw. That just you kind of went, whew. Yeah. We needed that kind of offensive play right there.
Well, we were stuck on 75 for a long time, and that's
about 5 minutes
when
almost.
That play came about. But, I think another thing, as we were talking to Jalen, just to talk about how well coached the second half was, but also remember that Coach took a timeout at about 6:30, 6:45. I would love to have been in the huddle at that point to hear what he was saying, but because at that point it seemed like the team needed to be settled down, they needed to be calmed down, and they came out of it and eventually, did what they needed to. And, yeah, big win and a good, comfortable lead. But, it's funny how we've talked about throughout the year, there have been games that we've won where we've really been on pins and needles and thinking, okay, Aggies could lose this game. I didn't really feel that way. They seemed to have it under control for the most part.
They did seem to, and they never were behind in the game.
Yeah.
And I still think this team learned a lot from last year and all the close games, and they talked about it in the offseason. What do we need to do to not do that type of stuff? And I think that's made a whole big difference. Prodigy Brewing is one of our sponsors. They're downtown on Center Street. Make sure you go to them for great lunches and for dinners and also Sunday brunch coming up. But what do we got in the text line?
Yeah, I got several comments here from 9315. Can't wait to see people try and talk this win down. I know it won't stay a quad one game.
Yeah, because they were right at 50, so they'll probably drop out.
They'll drop down, but still great win. Continued with that. USU has knocked 4 teams out of quad one and still 22. I agree. That's not fair. And it was a great that Boise went to overtime today. I think that helps us tomorrow. And P.S., I hope no players run into food trouble like Sam did that one year.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Hopefully the coaches are watching that a little carefully. But I want to go back to basically the comments, and while we were listening to Coach there, to me it's unfortunate that there are a lot of people that are going to sit back and they're going to look at the loss to Weber. They're going to look at the loss to SMU. But those were early in the year. Look at this team, and it's a different team than you saw then. Much better, 6 wins in a row, playing tough opponents, blew UNLV out, great win against Boise, great win tonight.
We beat 3 teams that were number 1 seeds in their conference tournaments, too, this year.
Oral Roberts, a lot of people
has the longest win streak in the country.
And yeah,
they blew out everybody in their league this year.
So,
and the Aggies beat them.
But I think the interesting thing is, and we're all, I'd be lying if I denied it. We're all interested in the NCAA tournament, but the reality is, you get 2 more wins, you can leave saying, hey, we were Mountain West tournament champions. And I'm sure that's what the coaching staff right now is emphasizing.
Well, you can hear Coach Odom. Yeah. Coach Odom's going, we came here to do something, and it's not to get to the NCAA tournament. Yeah. They came there to keep this win streak alive and have a win streak going to the postseason tournament.
Absolutely.
That's what the deal was.
56-34 texted in. Great win by the Aggies on UNLV's home court. UNLV's home court has treated the Aggies well. 91 points in each game.
Against Vegas and against New Mexico.
So, everybody knows I'm an Arizona fan, and everybody calls Vegas McHale North. Well, I think the Aggies need to start calling Vegas the Spectrum South. And so...
Right, and they call it the Pit West for New Mexico.
Not tonight.
Their crowds was great, but you could tell there was a good group of Aggies. This herd, the guys who texted before the game, who were looking at it, said, hey, the herd has showed up in great spirits tonight, so that's great stuff too.
And it makes a difference. And the other thing that's big, if you've ever gone to an environment like this, they love the underdog, and you know that the fans, the non-Aggie fans, were looking for an opportunity to get behind New Mexico, and I think that's another key factor. Aggies never let the Lobos really get on a roll, and kept them out of it, and kept their scores, their stars under lock, and great win, and we live to play another day.
Yep, that's what you want to do. And 25 wins now. I only count, and I've done it really quickly, 7 years where Utah State has won more than 25 games in a season. So this is really one of the really good seasons Utah State's had with a really good league this year. You can tell. I mean, maybe, to be honest, San Diego State, there's been times when we've been in the league that I think they've had a better team than they have this year. This year's team has a little more offense until I watched the Colorado State game today. I didn't feel like they had much at all. Yeah. But, of course, they've always put on defense. But they're good. But, I mean, I think this overall, I mean, look at how competitive all of these teams. Still, though, in this tournament, there's not been an upset of a seed except 5 beating 4. Yeah. San Jose State winning for the very first time they've ever won a game in the Mountain West Tournament, and it's the first time, John, in 42 years they've won 20 games at San Jose.
So Coach Miles certainly deserved the Coach of the Year, without a doubt. And really, when you talk about 4 or 5, that's not an upset. That's
happens all the time.
Yeah,
But that's the only lower seed that beat an upper seed so far in this tournament, even though the games have been close and competitive.
But at this point, would you be surprised if San Jose beats San Diego State tomorrow?
After the way San Diego State played, right. But they're guys like Lede and Parrish and Bradley are not anything offensively like I've seen them. So I would think they will recover and play better tomorrow and win. And they've beaten San Jose, I think, twice this year. Mm-hmm. So I would be surprised if that would happen. But hey,
San Jose's got more.
And they don't have anything to lose.
Yeah,
I know they're going to lay it all out there. Colorado State did today in that game.
Well, and I think the big difference is they have a good quality coach. Actually, again, look across the conference. Mm-hmm. Great coaches, but I think that's the advantage.
Jeff Linder's dad passed away, the Wyoming coach. Okay. He didn't coach the game last night against New Mexico, and he did pass away today. He's a good guy, Coach Linder is. He was at Weber State, Boise State. He's been around this area for a while, and I know everybody feels bad about that.
That's a shame. That really is a shame. But you just sit back and you look at, San Jose. I'm going to go out on a limb right now. I'm going to root for the upset.
You almost got your Air Force guys.
I almost did. They were close. I'm going to get. If I keep doing it, I'm going to get one.
Well, and then Vegas. I mean, the last time Vegas and Air Force played in the tournament, I remember it was like 107 to 104 in like 2 or 3 overtimes when UNLV pulled it out, and they almost did it again. But again, UNLV pulled that one out, and then UNLV with a comeback today, down 22 against Boise State, and they came back and almost won that game. So, all right, the text line's still available, 435-339-0321, and it's game day continuing on KVNU, and we will be right back. Aggies 91-76 over New Mexico.
This year, celebrate your anniversary with diamond jewelry from S.E. Needham Jewelers. Adorned in diamonds, she will feel elegant and cherished. Choose from a large selection of diamond bands, diamond pendants, and diamond earrings. Also, you'll enjoy a beautiful selection of diamonds mounted in rose gold. We price our diamond jewelry with an integrity price guarantee so that you can be assured the best possible value. With 12 months interest-free financing available. For the people and occasions that matter most. S.E. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block, at the sign of the clock.
Old McDarrell has a farm, an appliance farm.
This is Jay from Darrell's Appliance. Why buy from Darrell's? Worry-free delivery and installation. We offer installation on all appliances we sell, including vending. And we haul away your old appliances for free. Darrell's West on Airport Road, open until 6 p.m. on weekdays, 5 on Saturday.
See Darrell's Appliance in beautiful downtown Benson.
You've been putting up with a dirty, dusty wood stove for years. Why haven't you changed it? Go to Advanced Fireplace and Stove in Logan. Look through their showroom for ideas on Quadra-Fire pellet and wood stoves and Heat and Glow gas fireplaces. They have several demos in place so you can see firsthand how your project will look. And you can trust the pros at Advanced Fireplace and Stove. They'll do the job right. Advanced Fireplace and Stove. 752-7272. Online at advancedfireplaceandstove.com.
Hi, this is Rusty Allen with LSS Insurance. Not sure where to go for help with Social Security and Medicare? Come to LSS the third Thursday, March 16th at 7 p.m. Having a local agent makes all the difference. Someone who's here for you today as well as in the future. Call LSS at 752-9493. Come see us March 16th at 7 p.m. for a clear presentation on Social Security and Medicare. Call 752-9493 to RSVP. Walk-ins welcome.
Aggie Game Day continues. Sponsored by Golden Spike Electric on News Talk KVNU.
Al Lewis, John Russell, and you, as Utah State again never trailed in this game. Early had double-digit lead. Let's see. The last time it was not double digits in the first half, it was a 38-29 game as we went into the last about 2.5 minutes. And then the Aggies made it off of a dunk from Atkin off of that mad scramble where the ball was loose and nobody seemed to be able to pick it up. All of a sudden, Atkin got a dunk. And then the Aggies led by 44-33 at the half. They did bring it back to 6, 49-43, starting the second half on a Mashburn jumper. And that's when then Funk got one of two free throws. And then Ashworth made a three-pointer after that. The Aggies took it back to double digits. And then it stayed that way until they did get it to 8 at 75-67. That was about 4:50 to go in the game. And then that was the dunk by Atkin that took it back to 10. And then it was never, again, inside of a 10-point game. And Utah State wins by 15. They beat UNLV by 25 on this same floor. And so they have scored 91 in both of the two games in Las Vegas. Boise State is not the kind of team you're normally going to score 91 on. Now, we did pretty well in the game here in Logan, again on Saturday against them. And, I'm sure that there's some things that happened in that game after we had, a pretty good lead. And they brought it back to 6, remember, late in the game. And then we got that big basket by Funk in that game, too. Yeah. It was a huge one. And he had the huge night tonight with a career high for Taylor Funk in this basketball game. So Utah State with the victory, 91-76. Funk 32, Ashworth 22. Shulga had 12, 17 Atkin. Idlerock had 2. Bairstow had 6. Dorius and Hamoda did not score. 20 for Mashburn, 14 Alex, 16 Udeze, 14 for House, 4 for Johnson, and 8 for Dent in the game. So the Aggies 19-8 with the bench points, 9-6 second chance points. They did outdo the Aggies 40-32 in the paint. Fast break points were 13 apiece. Aggies had 21 assists in the game on their 30 baskets. New Mexico had 12 assists on their 28. They had 14 turnovers, Aggies 14 turnovers, so a few too many, a little more than average, but not bad against a New Mexico team that's known for it. But they House can take it away from you.
They can, but I think a lot of the turnovers, or at least the sloppy passes, were really just a matter of the Aggies not focusing. There towards the end of the second half, there were a couple of plays where, I just don't think the Aggies handled the ball as well as they could have. And you can't get away from around that with Boise. Mm-hmm. You play like that against Boise, they're just a little more disciplined. They have better players across the board, and they're not going to.
And they're more sound defensively, and we had a terrific game here in Logan to beat them and got off to the good start that we had in that game. We had 8 steals. They had 7 tonight. So Ashworth with 3. House had 3. They were the steal leaders. Okay, anything else in the text line?
Yeah, I got a few more here. Again, 93-15. Glad to see the Aggies not rooting for the donkey in their game, even though it helps.
Yeah, the Aggie fans were helping, were cheering for UNLV. They said all the students were helping. Their band at UNLV thanked all the students for helping cheer on the UNLV in that game.
But I'll be honest, nothing will make it sweeter if the Aggies can turn around and get the win tomorrow and go to that championship game. So we'll see what happens. This came from from, 54-64. Great win. Now beat Boise so the Aggies can play San Jose in the championship game. I'm with you, 54-64.
There you go.
We'll root for that.
And I think we've had two of our hardest, toughest to play basketball games all year long against San Jose State.
Yeah.
San Diego State and San Jose, definitely. The two teams are on the other side, have given us the most fits in games this year.
And it'll be a war either way. It'll be a tough win. And then from 58-70, that steal by Dorius that led to the fast break basket has to be the play of the year for him. Wanted to give him props for that sweet play. Yeah.
I think that was terrific.
But you go back to if I gave you the stat sheet and you'd say, oh, Dorius, 0 for 4. You did have 5 rebounds, but once again. And we heard it from Coach earlier in the year. He fills his role. He knows what his job is, and the minutes that he got in there were good, productive minutes.
The plus-minus goes to Stephen Ashworth tonight, a plus 20 while he was in the game. 14 on the plus side for Bairstow, 13 for Shulga. Aiken got 11. Taylor Funk only got a plus 9 out of the time he was on the floor. In the plus-minus as the Aggies win at 91-76.
One thing real quick, though. You mentioned Bairstow, only 6 points on the night, but again, he did other things. But I'll tell you what, that bucket, the drive to the basket, even though he missed the free throw late in the second half, definitely play of the game.
Like I said, to me, I went, we needed that. It was like taking the air out. He got 5 rebounds. He had 3 assists on the game, and he defensively had a lot of the tough assignments on the other side. So did Shulga and Max. Max got 12. He buried some big shots, made 4 big free throws. He got 5 assists, 3 rebounds in this game as well. Again, everybody that played for the Aggies tonight contributed, and we've said that before, and I said that with Jalen before the game. It's kind of like we talk about one star every game, and obviously Taylor Funk is huge again in this game, but there's always 2 or 3 other guys that are really making key plays or standing out, and it's not always the same guys. I mean, Ashworth's pretty dependable all the time, too.
And filling the stat sheet, I thought Max did a great job bringing the ball up. He handled the pressure pretty well, and really it was nice to see a lot of times Ashworth would give him the ball, just saying, look, you run it, let me do my thing. And
like Bairstow said on our pregame, we did that in the first New Mexico game specifically to get Ashworth off the ball, and maybe then House isn't going after him to steal the ball as much. Other guys can handle it and facilitate, and Max and Bairstow did that some tonight too.
And House only had 4 of his 10 fouls because he
maximized the fouls.
Yes, he does.
That's absolutely right. And there were a couple of phantom calls on the Aggies there late in the game when you looked at a few of those replays. Anything else then, John, from you?
That's all we've got. Thank you.
Tomorrow night again, game day about 9 pregame, and then postgame, I'm guessing 12:30 probably tomorrow night, because with all the games CBS Sports Network has during the day, I just think we're going to get pushed back, and we were pushed back a half hour tonight because of the game before.
But tomorrow night's Friday night, so everybody should be up. We want to hear from you.
Yep. All right, we'll talk to you then. We'll do the final stats when we come back on our last segment of Game Day on KVNU. We'll be back right after this timeout. Aggies win 91-76. Thanks for listening in. We'll have the final stats for Cache Valley Bank next.
Miss a minute? You're missing a lot. Breaking news, stimulating talk, News Talk, KVNU Logan, 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
As a small business, achieving your financial goals and ambitions can be a steep and rocky mountain to climb. This is Brett Green, president of Cache Valley Bank. To conquer this mountain and achieve your goals, it takes planning, hard work, and discipline. At Cache Valley Bank, we have the resources, expertise, and flexibility to help you scale your way to success. Give us a call. Let's work together and climb the mountains that await. Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Alpine Home Medical has been around for over 25 years. Can you believe that? Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent. What keeps us coming to work every day? We're passionate about caring for you. From home and bathroom safety to transportation, mobility, recovery, oxygen, sleep, and more, come into any of our 10 locations today and let us take care of you.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Visit us at alpinehomemedical.com.
Les Olson IT is your source for top quality technology. We carry the latest desktop and laptop PCs in stock, configured to your specific needs, and backed by our award-winning support team. And if your business demands high-performance hardware, we offer custom-built computers that can tackle any task. We also offer great computer accessories like monitors, keyboards, speakers, Fujitsu document scanners, and more. Get a quote today.
Les Olson IT.
It's never too late or too cold to get rid of that old vehicle. Now is the time to earn extra cash by calling DD Auto and Salvage. Let them pay you for that junk vehicle. DD Auto and Salvage makes it so easy and fast to get rid of your junker vehicles by paying you the most money possible. Pickup is available. If you have metal, DD Auto and Salvage in Logan wants to pay you today. Call 787-1204. That's 787-1204 today. See store for details.
As we have learned this year, viruses can travel through the air, causing an illness. Most virus droplets fall to the ground, but smaller particles may remain in the air longer. Now more than ever, you need clean air in your home. Let Advanced Heating and AC install an air filtration system in your home with HEPA filters. Dust, pollen, and more are floating in the air in your home. Get rid of them with a system that promotes proper ventilation and filtration. Learn how by calling Advanced Heating and AC, and it's online at advancedheating-ac.com.
Talking about the Aggies. It's KVNU Game Day. Call 753-KVNU or 800-369-KVNU.
Al Lewis, and we appreciate John Russell. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining with us tonight. Final stats are for Cache Valley Bank, as always. And we always appreciate Cache Valley Bank. And let me mention one of our other sponsors tonight, too, Daryl's Appliance Service and Sales in Benson, 752-9022, the number tomorrow. When you need any appliance repairs or you need brand new appliances, make sure you get with Daryl's Appliance Service and Sales. So, again, it's Utah State with the win, and Cache Valley Bank always gives us our final stats. No two businesses the same. So, again, banking solutions, they're different for every business, and Cache Valley Bank will work great with businesses. So Mashburn goes 9 for 25. So in the two games against the Aggies, he went 16 for 42. And that's pretty good defense against him to limit and make him take that many shots and not make them. House goes 5 for 14 for his 14. He had 4 boards and an assist, and then Mashburn had 4 assists to go with his 20 points. Johnson made that 1 2-pointer, and then he made another late drive in the game and 2 rebounds. Udesi had 16 on 4 of 7, 8 of 11 free throws, though, and he did have 11 points. So he gets another double-double. He leads one of the leaders in the country in double-doubles, and he leads the conference in double-doubles. That was his 14th of the season. Alec had 14 with 8. He was effective. And then off the bench, Dent had 8. Jenkins did not score. New Mexico hit 44% of their shots, and they only hit 2 of 10 from 3. They were 18 of 25 at the foul line. The Aggies were 19 of 26. This is a team that is 150 better makes and attempts than opponents on the season from the foul line. And they usually out-rebound opponents, and the Aggies went 40 to 36 with the rebound battle as well. And they had 14 turnovers, and so did the Aggies in the game. So, and like we mentioned, the Aggies had more steals almost than they did. Again, the final stats for Utah State and Cache Valley Banks, it's, 28 minutes for Dan Akin, 17 points on 7 of 9, 3 of 5 free throws. He had 8 rebounds. He had 2 assists. He had a turnover, a block shot, and a steal. Z Hamoda, 11 minutes of time, missed a shot, had 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and a turnover. RJ Idlerock played 21 minutes, 2 points, 1 of 7 shooting, 0 of 3 from 3. He had 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a turnover and a steal. Trevin Dorius played 14 minutes, missed 4 shots, had 5 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. And then Taylor Funk, 32, career high with 10 of 16 shooting, 6 of 10 from 3, 6 of 7 free throws, 2 rebounds, 1 assist in 37 minutes. Shulga had 12 points in 31 minutes, 3 of 7 shooting, 2 out of 3 from 3, 4 of 4 free throws. He had 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 turnovers and 2 steals. Stephen Ashworth, 22 points on 6 of 10 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3, 6 of 7 free throws, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. He did have 5 turnovers, but 3 steals in 33 minutes. And Sean Bairstow, 6 points on 3 of 8 from the field, 0 of 3 at the foul line. Got to shore up that. 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 turnovers in 26 minutes. So the Aggies shot 48% from the field, 50% from 3 on 12 of 24. They have dropped to number 4 or number 6 in the nation. I think it is now shooting threes. Number 4 in three-point percentage. But the Aggies have been shooting free throws pretty well lately, and 21 assists, 14 turnovers for the 30 baskets in the game. That's your final stats for Utah State's win in this battle. So the semifinals are set. Again, at our time on CBS Sports Network, 7:30 tomorrow night for the San Diego State and San Jose State game. And ours is scheduled 10 o'clock our time on CBS Sports Network. Again, it could get pushed back with all the games they're televising during the day. I think they're doing 6 total games starting at around 11 or 11:30 in the morning going into the evening. So I don't know how they're going to fit them all in, but we will start around 9 tomorrow night with our game day. And then the game will be somewhere around 10 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. Another battle with Boise State, just like last Saturday. It'll be Friday night this week. So that'll do it for tonight's Final Stats Cache Valley Bank and for this game day coverage on KVNU. We will rejoin our regularly scheduled program In Progress, and we'll see you again sometime later this evening because it's 1:06 in the morning on Friday already. So we'll be back again coming up tonight at 9 o'clock, I guess I should say. All right, in the meantime, we will join now this program, like I said, the overnight program Coast to Coast In Progress on KVNU.